Greetings, hi, TheWarOwl greets you, and welcome to another Strat Talk, the series where we talk about strategies for the game Counter-Strike Global Offensive. This time we are going to be looking at the Ninjas in Pajamas taking on Titan. Now, this is a very interesting round for me. I really was impressed with Ninjas in Pajamas' CT side rotates. Now, if we notice, in terms of the economy starting off at the start of this round, we do have a lot of sort of eco guns here. Look at the Galils. We got 3 Galils over there. And big thing to notice is that they are not able to afford the nades, flashes, smokes that they would like. So, going to be difficult for them to execute any kind of a strategy here. On Ninjas in Pajamas' side, oh my gosh, they are loaded. We actually have 3 of these incendiary grenades as well. They're pretty much set up to hold off this push from Titan as long as possible. And Titan really in this situation has to go for picks. And the reason is they need to have an opening where they can push into a site because they don't really have smokes and flashes to make anything happen. They have enough for maybe one push, but so just pay attention here to how Ninjas in Pajamas sets up their CT side. So okay, early game, we do have a Maniac playing at radio. There's a smoke thrown down there that should prevent this player from pushing. Actually, a Molotov. That's interesting. TheFlarren pushing pretty far forward here as well. And this is just to delay the players pushing ramp as long as possible. So as soon as that Molotov goes down, a smoke should be thrown. And one thing to note here, Ninjas in Pajamas is never going to have TheFlarren here by himself if there's not a smoke or a Molotov or something like that preventing it. Alright, and if we look outside right now, this was one thing I really noticed. We have a 3-player hold-off outside. Freiburg playing from inside of the mini garage. Forrest pushed up top here. This is kind of a scary position because you don't really expect a player to be here. It's one of those angles you have to really shift your viewpoints to check out. And check it out. Actually, we do have Callie here looking up there just in case. It's also a place where Forrest is going to be able to get one of those picks. And then we have Get Right in sort of his standard position, playing from the big garage. So that's 3 players outside. And it seems like, based on the intel that the Ninjas in Pajamas has right now, they know these players are putting a lot of players outside. One of the main things you can hear is when these players jump up onto the marshmallow here. And also we have wall bangs going down there from Existence. So because of the intel that they have, and what we have TheFlarren here able to glean as well, like, okay, they're not pushing ramp. We have the Ninja Exist up here going, okay, I only hear 1 or 2 inside of the lobby. They have to assume that they're trying to do something outside. So they've rotated 3 players to watch it. Alright, so here's Forrest up on top of the heaven. We have some things being thrown outside as well. Counter-terrorists holding it down. Some suppressive fire. We actually have Get Right here, waiting at Red, trying to get some intel. Freiburg can hear everything that's going on, so he's feeding that information up to Forrest. Watch the timing on Forrest's peak here. Callie is sitting there watching, and here he goes, he's about to pick. This should be a kill here for Callie. And Forrest absolutely perfectly picks that player with game sense of just like knows exactly where he was sitting. That should have been a kill on Forrest. Callie should have gotten that because he's sitting there, he's holding the corner, he's waiting. There's so many different places that Callie could be, but Forrest went right to him and actually killed him through a box. So that was really impressive. So now we have 1 player picked from Titan already, and we see a decoy thrown outside. And at this point, Apex still pushing a little bit out here. Counter-terrorists are going to rearrange themselves. So once again, Exist is the one in this position above the hut where he's able to hear. He has huge game sense to information to tell the Ninjas in Pajamas where to rotate. So he hears them all now running back into the lobby. So he knows, okay, lobby's going on. Kenny S is actually shooting through the squeaky door here, trying to catch Freiburg off guard, who was playing inside of Mini Garage. Now, this is a very vulnerable position inside of Mini Garage, which is why Titan is trying to find a way to pick him. So a smoke going down, though, I think, to, yeah, prevent those players from pushing upstairs. So at this point, we have TheFlarren at ramp pretty much solo. Now, this is dangerous to have this player here by himself. This could be an opening for Titan. If we look at the current setup here, we only have one player watching this position. They saw, you know, there were 3 players here outside. Those players have rotated back. Get right, actually leaving it completely. And check it out. There's no players watching outside right now, and the only person left is actually Apex. The only person watching is Get Right, and it's from very far back. So Ninjas in Pajamas says, okay, we've thwarted the outside push. They're not going to try to push it. We have intel of these players moving back into the lobby, and now we have Faflaren at ramp holding them off. So watch what happens here. Okay, Faflaren's holding it solo. This is not the position he wants to be in. Maniac pushing closer and closer in on him. But don't worry, Get Right and Forrest will get right in there to throw a flash. Forrest in here throwing another flash to assist, hold those players off, and we now have 2 players at ramp to hold this off in case they do try to push. And they were kind of trying to push here as well. So Titan in kind of a scary position right now. Get Right finally picks Apex, who was trying to push outside. It looked like to go to secret. Or even could have been checking for Get Right, who usually plays inside of that big garage or somewhere around the back there. So Get Right throwing the flash to help those guys at the ramp, goes back upstairs and peeks outside at the exact timing to see Apex moving forward. So Titan's in really dire straits right now. They have 3 players left. 2 other guys have been picked. They tried to go radio, it didn't. Well, they tried to go outside first, it didn't work. They tried to go radio, it didn't work. Where's the only other place you can go is upstairs. There's already that smoke down. Getting pre-flashed as well, and at this point, we now have the last place that they can take. Get Right in a position where you can watch upstairs. Freiburg in a position where you can watch upstairs, and Exist. So now 3 players again. Everywhere that Titan tries to push, Ninjas in Pajamas has their players in position, and this round ended up being a huge disaster. So Titan is just trying to find an opening, trying to make something happen. Eventually, Maniac, with 2 players at ramp, does something quite mind-boggling. He charges through the smoke. This is aggressive. He does make it through, but now he's 1 versus 2 here at ramp. This is not a good situation. He has a teammate, but he is pretty far behind him at this point. That is going to be Existence. He's back here. Maniac goes down. That was actually a trade for Faflaren for Maniac. So when they're ahead like that, it's a good idea to trade. Because if you have 5 players on one side and 3 on the other and you trade, you're going to end at 2 players left and a win. So now Existence has got to take this, and he doesn't even, he kind of looks to the right. He doesn't know that the player is boxed right now, even though he did get shot at. In the meantime, Get Right is able to pick Kenny S as well. And poor Existence, the general without an army, does go down to Forrest, who for some reason he didn't have intel that he was behind the box, even though he got shot at. I think that's because Forrest was using that M4A1, which is silenced. It's difficult to sort of ascertain where you're getting shot from. So yeah, that was just like a really nice CT side setup that I liked from the Ninjas in Pajamas. Early on, they had 3 players here with vantage points outside. Actually, this was Freiburg's there. Forrest, and then Get Right. We're able to pick a player. Then they rotated, so they didn't have anybody watching outside. Get Right would hop up and check it every once in a while from heaven, but they rotated pretty much 3 players here over to the ramp when Titan tried to push there. Then they had 3 players upstairs when Titan tried to push there. Very good intel, very good positioning. It was just a fun round to watch. So thank you folks very much for watching. I am TheWarOwl, and I still have no closer.